What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. I heard that white people will go on extinct. That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they talking about it a lot, right? I'm just sitting here eating these birds off my tree, straight off the tree. I ain't even washed them shits. All right, I like them that way. Same way I used to eat them when I was kids. All right, been munching on these Jones all season, right? Sweet. But yeah, I heard they was going extinct. And the great replacement theory, that's false because no one's replacing them. Okay, they're just going extinct. I know they got a whole bunch of like conspiracy theories and stuff, right? About why it's happening. It's pretty obvious why it's happening. It's their society. It's the society that's been created by the people who run European culture that's causing their extinction. It's because, people work 40, 50, 60 hours a week and don't have time to go out and mingle in order to meet someone, to have a baby, create a family. Going extinct because things are too expensive and no one can afford, having a family, They're going extinct because, Western society, promotes having babies late, and not cranking them out early. That's the truth, right? The society we live in doesn't allow young 18, 19, and 20-year-olds to have the time to go and find someone, right? They don't have the ability to make the money to secure, adequate housing and to take care and facilitate a whole nother life. So they can't crank them out. It's impossible. By the time they are prepared for a family, the woman maybe can squeeze one out, and then some of them just say, I don't want to squeeze none at all, right? You're going extinct because you've spread yourselves thin through all your colonizing of the world, and you guys took your central location of Europe, where you guys are from, Europe, not any other place but Europe, and you spread yourself out really thin, trying to control the world and other peoples and their stuff, right? So that caused you guys to, lose strength. You know how a lock is strong because it's tethered by many hairs that are binded together to make it strong. You see, you guys are like baby hairs and shit, on the side that's being pulled just a little bit too hard and just pop right on off. Follicles and everything, right? So that's why in Australia, you guys are dying out. In Australia, first of all, it's because it's too hot. You don't belong there. You're getting the skin cancer and all that shit, right? And then the people you subjugate, they also, like to have families and make babies, and they're a little bit more successful, right? So you go to somebody's homeland where there's still more of them than you steal it, right? Create a society that's unsustainable, right? Where you're not reproducing yourself, right? And then the population that you subjugated continues to grow because they have culture, right? Plus that's where they're from, right? So they can find ways to be more relaxed, or they can cope with, the situations because they've been coping with you, white people, right? Same thing in South Africa, As much as we talk about the South Africans, that 7% that control all the South Africans, shit, it's only been a matter of time until they go extinct too. They ain't having no babies. Who gonna replace their old rich white people? They get old and die too. What's gonna happen? Huh? All the white folks in Venezuela, all the former Nazis that went over to South America, they getting old, they dying out, or their children are mixing up with other groups of people. America, same shit. The biggest and most successful white British colony, in world history, right? The hell was happening? Same shit, different location, right? Your women's got more choices, right? The white male is not in real life the preferred pick, right? Unforced, right? Unforced, the white male is not, the preferred pick when they have a plethora of other choices of men, right? Smorgasbord, a buffet of men, that's an issue, right? Especially when you have recessive genes. I mean, there's a lot of combination things of why it's happening, right? That the color white is going, we should say that. Light-skinned European, not even light-skinned, because You know, just white. Yeah. White's going extinct. White should have been extinct. Matter of fact, white should have never got created, right? So white should go. It's a good thing white's going extinct. That way we all going to be brown and happy together, right? Because that's what's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Y'all can talk about it all day long. All right, talking and fucking is two different things. Y'all need to be fucking. Y'all doing too much talking. Y'all need to be fucking. All right. Even that ain't gonna work because nature says that your men are not allowed to have but so many babies because y'all sperm counts all fucked up. So I mean, shit, y'all got a whole bunch of goddamn problems. You know, I wouldn't know anything about the extinction thing because as a black person, you know, we are the cast iron mold that creates the rest of humanity. And there's a whole lot of us. And we always find time to, you know, it don't matter. It could be the toughest of times. We're going to do several things. We're going to laugh, have a good time, and we're going to do that. All right? Because we ain't got nothing else to do. Shit. That's what's going to happen. But anyway, let's listen to these folks talk about it. All right? Because, I mean, I guess you're supposed to talk about your inevitable demise as a group of people, white, if that's really a group of people, right? You know, you got to talk about it. So let's listen to them talk about it because it's entertaining. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment sections. After Think Tank, learn some, teach some. I'm out.
It's really sad to see the way that society has been brainwashed to believe all of these things, like as if it's not the meaning of life to start a family, to I feel like there's fulfillment that you get from having a family and raising kids that you can't get anywhere else, but it's also like your duty to the world to reproduce. Like we're being outproduced as well, by the way.
We're being
outproduced by like immigrants within this country. Like it's just like white people are gonna go extinct.
I mean, that's fucking one way to...
White people are way less encouraged to have children. It's true. Controversial take, but...
No, listen, when you see it where you'll have like an immigrant family with fucking 8 kids, you don't see a lot of like...
Yeah.
People from this country with 8 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, 8's a lot.
One if you're lucky. I mean, I'm a little older. We're aiming for at least 3 to get above replacement levels. Hopefully. You know, you gotta do out.
Wants 4.
Yeah.
I want 8.
He wanted 8. Yeah. When we were dating, before we were dating, when we were just friends, he'd always say, like, I want 8 kids. I can't wait to have 8 kids. I'm going to have a massive family. And then we started dating. I'm a little bit older than him. I'm 30. And so we started dating. I was like, dude, you know, I probably can't give you 8 kids, right? He was like, okay, at least 3. We'll get married. We got married very quickly after we started dating.
How quickly?
7. We dated for a month before he proposed, and then 7 months later we eloped.
You proposed in a month.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
We were best friends for like a year and literally spent every single day together. Right. Literally every single day together, 24/7.
So you guys, all right, that's a little different. That's
yeah.
fair.
He friend zoned me. He friend zoned me 3 times.
Oh, he friend zoned you
3 times. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Strategy.
Oh, strategy. I got it. All right.
A guy like me getting a 10 like this?
Set the bar low.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You
They
want
want what they
you
can't
don't have. Yeah. Apparently, he came to inform me of this strategy later, but it's too late to be mad
And
about
now
it.
it hasn't taken the luster off?
No.
Now that you know, you've seen behind the candelabra?
I love him so much. He's my best friend in the whole world, and I can't wait. He's gonna be the best dad in the world. I can't wait to have babies with him.
That's awesome. You gotta lead with the we were very good friends for like a year, not the 3 weeks part. People just think Vegas,
well, they're crazy.
drugs, you know.
No. We worked together, so our work environment was very stressful. When we worked for this former network, we'd literally be there like...
Is this Valuetainment?
Yeah. We'd be there a minimum of 9 hours a day. It was usually like 10, 11 hours per day. And then we go back to my house and work on my show. I had 2 shows on that network. So we would work on it together. We watch comedy together to try to alleviate a little bit of the stress. We're both big comedy fans. And I don't drive. I don't know how to drive. I've never learned. So he'd drive me everywhere. We're basically
Very
together like...
anti-feminist of you.
Base.
Yeah. Women do cause more car accidents, I will say. So I'm just doing my part, you know, doing my part. Okay.
Oh my God, that's
but yeah,
funny.
we literally spent nearly all of our time together. He'd fall asleep on my couch at like 2, 3 a.m. I'd have to wake him up, send him on his way. But
You sent him home.
Yeah.
Oh, you really were committed. You were committed to the bit.
He crashed out on the couch and like maybe slept there like a couple of times if I fell asleep beforehand.
I'm also very Christian, so I was saving myself for marriage.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Yes, precisely. Yes.
Good for you, man. I haven't heard a story like that in a while.
Yeah.
3 weeks, and how long after the proposal did you get married?
7 months.
7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were wanting to do it within like 3 months, but then again, work was so hard.
You're still a valuetainment then?
Yes.
Yeah, for
and
much
then,
of it.
And then we left and we were just on the road. We just have been doing trips like this. We're on our 4th week here on the road, going on different podcasts and all this stuff. And then finally we were in Vegas.
Oh, you did it in Vegas.
And we got
real?
eloped in Vegas. And we
We were
had
there for like a month and we're like, dude, we want to get married. We want to do it. It's going to cost a lot of money. We're going to keep pushing it down the road.
No.
But yeah, so we're like, let's just do it.
Good for you.
The quiet part that we're not saying out loud is that white supremacists are scared and they're holding on to a world that is no longer going to exist. It's inevitable. They're toddlers throwing their dinner at the wall. They're little girls throwing a temper tantrum over not getting a doll. They're the teenager going through their first heartbreak, screaming, banging their head in, saying, I'm never going to be able to survive this. But we all know they will. And the people that are still standing behind this regime are a good example of how evolution works. And those who do not evolve for the future are going to be left behind. The only difference is in America right now, those same people who are trying to drag us down with them are the people who are being left behind. So, they're falling behind, they're dragging us with them, and that's what we're experiencing. That's what we're going through. It's going to get worse before it gets better. For those who don't understand eugenics, they don't understand white supremacy, the Latino population, the Mexican population in the U.S. is the problem. The reason why that problem exists is because this is stolen land, okay? So they're already fighting against a battle that was never won. It was just body slain, okay? They're talking about the literal percentage of white people that still exist. Whiteness is evaporating. Whiteness is leaving America because we are an ever-evolving population, and humanity as it is as a whole is going to be POC. We are all going to be people of color on this continent, and they will not accept it. And this is the temper tantrum that they're throwing, and they're going to kill millions of people in the process. And the question is, are one of those people going to be you? And is it going to be kicking and screaming, or is it going to be you lining up with a smile on your face when they blow your brains out?
White people used to be 30% of the world's population. Nowadays, they're 7%. Do you believe in the Great Replacement Theory?
What is that?
It's where they're trying to exterminate the white race, for lack of a better word, because white people used to be 30% of the world's population. Nowadays, they're 7%.
7% now?
Yeah.
Like, so you're wondering if I think they should exterminate the white race?
Like, what do you think that's real? That people are trying to?
No, I don't. I don't think that'll ever happen.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure some races will, like smaller ones, will go extinct, but like, no, I don't think the white race will ever go extinct.
Do you think it's a problem if we become such a small percentage?
Oh no,
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think that was an issue.
Yeah, but then white people, like everybody wants to come live in white countries. Like Europe, America, founded by white people. Who's going to build these countries?
I honestly don't know, really. Yeah, I'm not really the smartest on all this kind of stuff, but.
Fair enough. All right,
yeah.
Thanks, man.
Those were the numbers. So here's what they were. The biggest city in the United States then and now is New York City. New York City in 1950 was 90% white. 71 million New Yorkers out of 7.9 million were white. Chicago in 1950 was 86% white. Philadelphia, over 80%. Los Angeles, 94% white. 94% white. That's almost an ethno-state, actually, at that point. Detroit, Michigan, home of Ford, GM, and Chrysler, 84% white. Baltimore, steel and shipping capital of the Mid-Atlantic, 76% white. That was 1950. You know people who were alive in 1950. Maybe you were. Here are the numbers today. Baltimore, 27% white. Detroit, about 10% white, down from 84. Los Angeles, again, 94%, about 37% white now. Philadelphia, 36%. Chicago, less than 30%. And New York City, Again, the biggest city in the country is now around 30% white, down from 90% in 1950.
Well, since we're talking about numbers, Tucker, here's some numbers for you. Before Columbus arrived in 1492, America was 100% Native American Indian. Today, they're less than 3%.
Reality is fuzzy, and that's why we're going to go extinct. Human beings can't cope with uncertainty in a healthy way. We can't. Like, half of the world is currently just sitting there thinking that whatever deity they worship is going to make everything okay, so they don't need to worry about this shit. Right? There are people who, because they realize that the world is scary and uncertain, that the best thing they can do is make the whole world look like them and oppress all of the people who don't, because they feel safe with people that look and act like them. And that is how they cope with the uncertainties, by trying to harm others to make themselves feel safe. When what we should all be doing is trying to help each other and keep each other safe. But of course, there's the uncertainty of humans not operating in good faith. Right? Reality's fuzzy. And that's why we're fucked.
Likely an unpopular opinion, and probably something that a lot of people are going to come at me for in the comments, but if our civilization, the human race, is going to go extinct because we're not having enough babies, we're not having enough children, so be it. Like, people are to keep talking about, like, well, the birth rates are declining and we will cease to exist. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, because birth rates are declining for a number of reasons, and it's up to women to decide when they want to have children, if they want to have children, or if they never want to have children. If our civilization goes away, poof, gone, maybe that's what is supposed to happen. Every species eventually goes through some level of this, some level of extinction, some level of resources being depleted. Just maybe we've hit the limit of where our species is supposed to go, and maybe that's okay. So I don't understand why everyone's just like losing their minds about birth rates declining.
Why do British people complain about the heat? It's not even that hot. Okay, tell me why British people are literally going extinct because of the fact that it's so hot in our country.
This heat wave will be disastrous for male fertility.
You what?
That's because the quality of sperm goes down as the temperature goes up.
So what this means is British people are on our way out. We are going extinct.
Researchers analysed the samples of more than 6,000 men and found that those living in hotter climates had less sperm mobility than their colder peers.
The country constantly keeps getting hotter, like it has been predicted to do so. We are all going to be dying out, and there'll be no British people in the space of 50 plus years. If there's no British people, who's going to eat the beans? I guess every country is going to argue with me and say that England is still not that hot. Yet, we're dying out because of the heat? Okay. Sure, go on.
So I just got back from the Quantum Fest, and it was such a beautiful experience. I met a lot of beautiful faces. And the main takeaway, we had a conversation about returning to the source of creation. Now, as far as the topic of the Y chromosome being reabsorbed into the X, this has happened at a multitude of contexts, because it is not only the Y chromosome that is being reabsorbed, it is also the artificial construct of the paradigm that we live in. So there was a study that shows that by the year 2045, the majority of the world's population will be either black or brown. So not only is the male as we know it being reabsorbed, but the same thing is happening with the albion or Caucasoid. So when it comes to the topic of returning to the source of creation is the primordial cosmic womb, which is dark matter, which is melanin. So that melanin, that darkness that condensed into physical space, is the alpha and omega when the shift takes place. So all things that derive from that cosmic great mother, that melanin, is going to go back to the source and become one with her internally. So it's not about the male or white people ceasing to exist. It's that they will eventually reincarnate into the dark matter on a higher dimension. Because the only reason that the two exist is due to the densification of the spirit on the third dimension. The only reason that these mutations exist is due to the disconnection from the womb. So due to that disconnection, antimatter was birthed in order to awaken the divine feminine. That divine feminine, which is the great mother, is chaotic. So she is now on a mission to devour anything that reflects her dishonor. So regardless of whether or not you see yourself as one, anything that is not her will be eradicated by the time it's all said and done.
What we are experiencing now is the extinction burst of American empire, because the caged animal is going to escalate and they're going to try to desperately cling to resources. So that's why you see these fascist movements, they all function the same way, because they're trying to desperately cling to resources as there's a crisis in imperial capitalism. My overall view of the historical situation is that we're witnessing the death of the last white supremacist empire. Portuguese in the 15th century, Spanish into the early 16th, the Dutch, the French, the British, and then after World War II, the US empire. And so we have to expect that there's going to be a lot of noise and a lot of disruption and a resurgence in fascism. We're going back to the bloody roots of settler colonialism, and we're seeing all of that unfolding. If you double down on extractive violence and forever war, the way we're doing now in Iran, it's only going to hasten the decline of the empire. Richard Wolff, great Marxist economic historian, shows systematically that all of those empires that I just named, they accelerate their downfall because when their currency is sold off as the world's reserve currency, they try to make up their gains with new military adventurism abroad, and it just hastens the collapse.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Objectively and obviously, that's what's happening. And what that means is that we should really be focused on what we are going to build on the ashes of this dying empire. And I think that what we build on it is something that is not rooted in extractive imperial capitalism. I think that it's something that is rooted in care instead of cages. I think that it's rooted in environmental sustainability instead of extraction. I think that we have a chance to green the globe, quite literally, right? Not just politically, but environmentally. That kind of transformation is the only hope that we have. And if it comes from the American imperial core, that changes the trajectory of history. And my bet is that Californians are progressive enough to want to start that vision here.
I think we might be the first species ever to cause our own demise. Like, we will cause our own extinction because of how we treat each other. Genocide, war, poverty, it's gonna take us out. It's gonna take all of us out. Does any other animal do that? You don't see like a bunch of lions killing other lions in mass numbers. Maybe that's why the Earth is like, y'all don't need an asteroid to destroy you guys. You're gonna do it yourselves.
the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.